Amid continued sanctions from the United States, Venezuela has passed an anti-blockade bill aimed at securing new oil deals that would help keep the country's economy afloat. For the last several years, the South American country with the largest oil reserves in the world has plummeted into a deep financial and political crisis. RT's Rachel Blevins is joining us from the newsroom with more details to this. Rachel?
Yeah, Manila, Venezuela has been hit with sanction after sanction from the U.S. And even when they have tried to work with their own allies, Washington has continued to increase the measures against them. So on Thursday, Venezuela's pro-government assembly passed legislation that allows President Nicolas Maduro to sign oil deals with private firms and foreign nations while keeping it confidential. In a statement, the president of the assembly described the law as an instrument to shield Venezuela's economy from the constant onslaught of the United States government, which seeks to destabilize the country. The Trump administration has openly called for the overthrow of Maduro since it pledged support for Juan Guaido back in 2019. In addition to calling on all of its allies to support the opposition leader, the U.S. provided Guaido with tens of millions of dollars in financial support. While Maduro found minimal relief when Iran sent tankers with supplies to help refine Venezuela's crude oil earlier this year, both countries were threatened by the U.S. military, which then went on to seize more than 1 million barrels of fuel from 4 Iranian tankers that were on their way to Venezuela in August. One Constitutional Assembly member described the new anti-blockade law as part of the country's right to defend itself against political pressure from foreign nations. He argued that since 2015, Venezuela has been a victim of sanctions, blockades, and attacks from the U.S. empire, noting that Obama's decree opened a window for multiple sanctions, and since Trump took office, they have become even more aggressive. Now, Manila, the Trump administration has yet to respond to the latest actions from the leader they now refer to as the former president of Venezuela.
And now, Rachel, there have also been new developments in the case of a pretty large sum of gold that Venezuela has stored over at the Bank of England. What's the update there?
That's right. We're talking about $2 billion worth of gold reserves that Maduro has been trying to gain access to since 2018. But the British High Court cut him off, claiming they now answer to Guaido as the leader of Venezuela. However, this week's ruling from an appeals court noted that Britain had in practice maintained diplomatic relationships with the Maduro administration and had kept its embassy open in Venezuela. So now the court has ordered the British government to clarify who it views as the rightful president of Venezuela in order to decide once and for all who will have access to the money. Reporting in the newsroom, Rachel Blevins, RT.